Ever feel like your team's just spinning its wheels? Doing a lot, but maybe not moving forward on the big stuff.
Yeah, or tasks just vanish.
Yeah.
You're left wondering if all that effort actually achieved anything strategic.
Exactly. Well, today we're diving into a platform called Beenia. They're making some pretty bold claims about boosting team productivity and, crucially, goal alignment.
Right. Our mission today is to really get under the hood of Beenia, understand how it sets itself up as more than just, another task list. It's positioned as a strategic tool for making sure your daily grind actually lines up with your big goals.
We'll look at the features, how it fits into different workflows, and what kind of impact it really claims to make on efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a great stack of sources, detailed product pages, help docs, even video transcripts showing it in action.
Yeah, and some outreach scripts too, which kind of reveal their partnership strategy. It's quite interesting.
So get ready for a deep dive. We're aiming to give you a real shortcut to understanding how you might make work smarter, not just harder. Okay, let's start with that core promise Beanie makes right out of the gate. Get the right work done faster and achieve your goals faster.
Yeah, they call themselves a startup acceleration and growth acceleration solution for teams of all sizes.
But, doesn't every productivity app promise speed? What's different here?
That's a fair question. I think what's interesting, or what they emphasize, is it's not just speed, but intelligent speed. The platform seems really focused on making sure every activity, every minute spent, contributes to something measurable, a strategic objective.
Oh, okay. So it's trying to solve that problem where teams are super busy, but maybe not on the most impactful things.
Exactly. It's about the right work, linking action to outcome, impact over just volume.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if we're talking getting the right work done, step one is capturing it. How does Beanie handle that? Because, teams have all sorts of people.
Right, the quick note taker, the person who wants everything automated.
Yeah. How do they cater to all those different styles?
Well, that seems to be a key focus. They actually list 9 different ways to create activities, which is a lot.
9. Wow.
Yeah, and the idea seems to be reducing friction, making it super easy to get any task or idea into the system, no matter how you work.
Okay, tell me more. How does that work in practice? What are some of these ways?
So you've got the really direct manual stuff. You can just type an activity name instantly in what they call My View or the Main Activities app.
Simple enough?
Then you can add details, assign it, whatever. Or if you're in a meeting, capture tasks right there from the meeting detail view.
Oh, that's handy as things come up.
Exactly. And if you're looking at your goals, you can add supporting tasks directly from the goals detail view to keep things aligned.
So always linking back.
Right. There's also a global plus icon everywhere in the navigation for quick adds. And of course, mobile apps, iOS and Android, for capturing stuff on the go.
So lots of manual entry points.
Yeah.
Very accessible. What about people who live in email?
Ah, yes. They have a neat semi-automatic trick for that. You can forward an email to your My View or a specific workspace. The subject becomes the task name, body becomes the description, attachments even come along too.
Oh, that is smart. Turns communication directly into an actionable item.
Yeah, no copy pasting needed.
Okay, so that covers manual and email. What about the full automation fans? The people who want tools to talk to each other seamlessly?
Right. For that, they lean heavily on integrations. First, there's Zapier that connects Beenia to over 6,000 other apps.
Wow, okay.
So you could, for example, automatically create a Beenia task whenever a new Google Calendar meeting pops up, things like that.
Takes the manual work out completely.
And then they really highlight their native HubSpot integration. This seems pretty deep. You can sync data, update goals based on HubSpot info, even trigger Beenia activities or meetings directly from HubSpot CRM workflows.
So a new deal in HubSpot could automatically create a kickoff task sequence in Beenia.
Precisely, that kind of thing. Connecting sales and project management directly.
Okay, that really is a broad spectrum. From just jotting down a thought to these complex automations, it definitely feels like they're trying to adapt to you, not force you into their way.
Yeah, that seems to be the philosophy.
But, okay, once all these tasks and activities are in Beenia, how do you stop it from just becoming a massive, overwhelming list? How do they connect it to the bigger picture?
That's the million-dollar question for any task tool, right? And Beenia's answer seems to be heavily centered on goal tracking. It's a core feature. They let you build out a flexible goal structure, goals, sub-goals that mirrors your actual strategy.
So you define your objectives within the platform.
Exactly. And the key insight isn't just listing them. It's creating these very direct, visible links between the daily work, the activities, and those strategic goals.
And this is where it gets powerful for you, the listener. You can actually match activities with goals.
Right. Either you do it manually or you can set up rules to automatically match them based on certain criteria.
So you always know why you're doing a task, which goal it serves.
That's the idea, transparency. You can see which activities are pushing each goal forward. It combats that feeling of, is this just busy work?
Yeah, they get that.
And you can also track progress directly against those goals. Think KPIs like revenue, customer numbers, sales calls made.
You can track metrics inside Beenia.
Yes. And you can even pull in data from external sources like HubSpot to update those goal statuses in real time.
Oh, interesting. So you can see, like, we did these activities and this KPI moved.
Exactly. It helps you determine the impact your work has on the KPIs, making the connection between effort and result really explicit.
Okay, so goal tracking provides the strategic layer.
Yeah.
What about just the day-to-day work management, getting stuff done?
Right, the nuts and bolts. Beenia offers one place for all your tasks, trying to consolidate everything, ideas, to-dos, whatever form work takes.
What's the biggest headache teams usually face there? Just chaos.
Often, yeah. Just a jumble of tasks with no context, or everyone having their own messy system. Beenia tries to solve this with flexibility. You can use flexible custom fields to categorize and organize work in ways that actually make sense for your specific team or project.
So you can tailor it.
Exactly. And you can pivot your boards and lists, slice and dice the view by assignee, status, priority, custom fields, whatever you need.
So different views for different needs.
Right. And you can filter those views, save them, share them, so everyone can focus on what's relevant to them without getting lost in the noise.
That sounds useful. Any real-world examples of this?
Yeah, they quote Benjamin Hine, the founder of Mormer. He said they use Beenia for their growth hacking process and specifically mentioned how it lets them easily tie our activities to goals. That connection seems key.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Meetings. We've all been in those dreadful, unproductive ones.
Oh, yeah. The ones that could have been an email or where nothing gets decided.
Exactly. Beenia claims it can maximize the efficiency of your meetings, turn them into power-packed sessions that drive results. How?
Well, it seems to focus on structure and actionability. It lets you track meeting agendas, notes, and outcomes easily. There's even a presentation mode to keep things focused during the meeting.
So basic meeting hygiene features.
Yes, but crucially, meetings are treated as their own distinct object in Beenia, not just a calendar entry.
What does that mean?
It means you can directly tie activities to meetings. So action items decided in the meeting become tasks linked to that meeting. Or you can create new tasks right from the meeting interface.
So it closes the loop. Decisions become trackable tasks immediately.
Exactly. Prevents things from falling through the cracks after everyone hangs up.
Does it help with actually running the meetings too?
It seems so. You can send calendar invites from Beenia. And it has its own built-in online meeting tool powered by Jitsi, an open source solution so you can run and record calls directly within the platform.
Built-in video conferencing.
Yep. And here's a slightly unusual feature. You can apparently stream your meetings on YouTube.
Stream them, like live, to YouTube.
That's what the source says, maybe for public updates, workshops, or very transparent companies.
Interesting. What about collaboration tools during meetings, like whiteboarding?
Good question. They highlight integration with Miro. You can embed Miro boards, brainstorm visually, and even create Beenia activities directly from the Miro board.
Okay, that's a strong link for creative or planning sessions.
Definitely. And we heard from Grace Lung at Be Changemaker. Their accelerator teams use Beenia to manage projects and collaborate with mentors.
Right.
And Peter Kallman from Green Elegy mentioned they use it to organize their growth meetings, making sure everyone sees the goals and how the meeting connects. It paints a picture of meetings becoming more focused and integrated.
Okay, so we have tasks linked to goals, better meetings.
Yeah.
What about tracking the actual effort involved, time tracking?
Yep. Beenia has native time tracking built in. This addresses that need to understand where resources are actually going.
How granular does it get? Is it easy to use? Because time tracking can be unpopular if it's clunky.
They seem aware of that. You can set time budgets and estimates at different levels, the whole team space, a specific list, or down to an individual task.
So you can forecast effort.
Right. And for tracking actual time spent, you've got options. A running timer you start and stop, a button to manually add a block of time, or just entering a time range later.
Flexible options again.
Seems to be the theme. And it provides detailed time reporting. You can see where time went, approve timesheets, potentially use it for client billing, and export the data.
So it completes that loop, plan the work, do the work, track the effort.
Exactly. By building it in natively, the hope is it feels less like a separate chore and more just part of getting the task done.
Okay, we've touched on a few integrations like Zapier and HubSpot, but how does Beenia position its overall integration strategy in a world where we all use tons of different apps?
Yeah, tool overload is real. Beenia claims seamless integrations are key to their value. The goal is to act as a central hub, to let you connect, collaborate, and stay productive within the tools you love, instead of constantly switching contexts.
What are the standout integrations, besides the ones we mentioned?
Well, beyond Zapier's broad reach and the deep HubSpot connection, a really interesting one is how they handle embedded tools. You can embed things like Miro, Canva, or even Google Sheets directly into your Beenia workspaces. They call these custom apps.
So the actual tool lives inside Beenia, not just a link.
Exactly. Your Miro board, your Canva design, your spreadsheet, it's right there in the workspace navigation, part of the project environment. Reduces that tab switching fatigue.
That is pretty neat. Minimizes context switching.
Yeah, and similarly, you can embed rich content like YouTube and Vimeo videos directly into tasks or descriptions.
So a task could include its own video tutorial or background info?
Right, it turns your work management space into more of a knowledge base as well. Context readily available right where you're working.
Okay, this sounds quite feature-rich, with goals, tasks, meetings, time tracking, integrations. How does Beenia structure all of this to keep it manageable and flexible for different teams?
The core architectural concept seems to be workspaces. Every Beanie account has one or more workspaces.
And a workspace is like a folder, a project.
Think of it more like a dedicated, flexible area for collaboration around a specific theme or entity. It could be for your personal tasks, a specific startup project, a whole company department like marketing, or even how an agency manages work for a particular client.
So highly adaptable containers.
Precisely. It allows you to separate different contexts cleanly without needing totally different accounts or tools.
And can you customize what's inside each workspace?
Yes, that's key to the flexibility. Within each workspace, you decide which workspace apps are active. Maybe one workspace needs activities, goals, and meetings, but not time tracking. Another might just need activities. You switch them on or off.
Tailoring the interface.
Exactly. Plus, you can add those custom apps we talked about, embedding Miro, Google Sheets, etc., directly into the navigation of that specific workspace.
So each workspace can have its own unique set of integrated tools readily available.
Right. It aims for a tailored, uncluttered experience for each team or project. And this extends to collaboration, too. They say it's designed to make collaborating across teams, even companies, easier.
How so?
You can even collaborate with people who aren't Beanie users by embedding certain views or boards on a website, or sharing specific links with clients, for example.
Okay, we've got a good sense of the features and structure, but who is this really for? Which types of teams or organizations seem to be the sweet spot?
Looking at their own use cases, they highlight a few key areas. Startup acceleration is a big one, helping new companies get organized, grow faster, and work with mentors or investors.
Makes sense given the acceleration solution branding.
Right. Then there's acceleration programs themselves. They mention global programs like the Changemaker by WorldSkills and HP's Digital Equity Accelerator, using Beenia to manage whole portfolios of startups from one account.
Managing multiple ventures at once.
Yeah. And also agency services, helping agencies streamline how they manage projects and deliver work for their clients.
So startups, accelerators, agencies, it sounds like it's geared towards dynamic teams managing complex, often external-facing projects.
That seems to be a strong focus, yes. Teams where linking activities clearly to strategic goals and collaborating efficiently, sometimes with outside partners, is really critical.
Now, this is interesting. Beanie isn't just selling software. They're actively building a network through a partner program. What's the strategy there?
Yeah, the co-founder, Mikhail Jurasek, is apparently quite active in reaching out to potential partners, accelerators, HubSpot agencies, other tech companies.
What kind of partnerships?
Could be co-marketing, deeper integration work, referral deals. The stated goal seems to be helping teams build flywheels faster.
Okay, flywheels. Break that down for us. What does that mean in this context?
Good point. So, a flywheel in business is basically this idea of a self-reinforcing cycle. Small efforts build momentum that creates more momentum, leading to growth. Think about how Amazon used lower prices to get more customers, which attracted more sellers, enabling lower prices. That kind of loop.
Got it.
For Beenia, it seems to be about creating these positive loops of efficiency and growth for their customers, often by integrating tightly with other key tools, especially HubSpot.
So the partnerships help create a more powerful, integrated ecosystem for users.
Exactly. Making Beenia and its partners' tools work together so well that it creates this accelerating effect for the teams using them. The partner program is a way to build out that ecosystem faster.
Okay, so we've really unpacked Beenia today. We looked at its approach to productivity, that strong emphasis on goal alignment, and how it handles collaboration.
Yeah, from those 9 ways to get tasks in to the deep integrations, the flexible workspaces. It's clearly aiming to be a pretty comprehensive platform.
The core idea seems to be getting the right work done faster.
And if you zoom out, Binia feels like it's trying to create this coherent environment where every action, ideally, is intentional, tied to a bigger goal, helped by automation, visible through collaboration.
It's definitely more than just a to-do list app. It's aiming for strategic execution.
Right. Making sure effort translates directly into moving towards objectives with clear visibility and less wasted motion.
So thinking about all this, what stands out most to you listening? Imagine if every single thing you did at work was clearly linked to a measurable goal.
Yeah, and that goal's progress updated in real time, and you could easily share that context with anyone who needed it. How much more focused or, dare I say, productive could your work feel?
It definitely poses a question.
It does. In a world drowning in information and endless tasks, how could a system like Bellania or even just adopting its core principles really change what it means to be strategically productive, making every minute truly count towards impact? Maybe think about how you could apply some of these ideas, the explicit goals, the easy task capture, the focus on integration and transparency to your own work, even without using this specific tool. How could you connect your daily actions more clearly to your ultimate aims?